There's no Trinity. It never makes sense. Three never makes one.
It's very common for opponents of Christianity to object to it because of the doctrine of the Trinity and the Incarnation. And unfortunately, those who object to these doctrines don't often understand what it is that they're objecting to. The central idea of the Trinity is this: there is one God, and that one God is a tripersonal being. Or put another way, there is one divine soul or substance, and that divine soul has three separate sets of cognitive faculties or divisions of consciousness. It might help to compare this to ourselves as humans. I, as a soul, am an immaterial substance that is equipped with cognitive faculties that are sufficient to constitute personhood. God, as a soul, has cognitive faculties that are sufficient not just to constitute one person, but three. Thus, we have three different persons all contained within the one divine soul. Now, as I have articulated this so far, despite what everybody likes to claim, no contradiction has been stated. I have not said that there are both three gods and one God, or that there are three people and one person, or something like that. Christians refer to the three persons contained in the divine soul as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. With this in mind, let's talk about the Incarnation, which is the idea of God becoming human. But before we get into that, it would be wise to talk about what it means to be human. Now, I, as a human, am a combination of both a mind and a body. The body is the physical thing that you see before you. The mind is an immaterial thing that works and operates through the body. I think that if you blew my brains out, my mind would still exist, and I think this is something my Muslim friends would agree with. So to be human is to be a combination of a human body with a certain type of mind, or a mind that has certain types of properties. And I say this because I don't think any old type of mind can be combined with the human body and have a human as a result. If you somehow took a cat's mind and put it into my body, that wouldn't be a human. The mind that is in a human body has to have a certain type of properties, maybe moral reasoning or awareness or something like that. We don't have to spell it all out, but just we need to know that there are some specifics that are needed. With all this in mind, let's talk about the Incarnation. Christians believe that one of the three minds in the divine soul, the mind we refer to as the Son, came and occupied a human body just as my mind is currently occupying a human body. Now, we said earlier that the mind that occupies the human body needs to have a certain set of attributes to constitute being a human. And I think that the divine mind, which came down to operate in a human body, already has all those attributes and has had them eternally. In fact, I think this divine mind is the archetypal mind that we as humans were made in the image of. So if this divine mind already had all the attributes that are needed to constitute a human, in order for that mind to become a human, it would just need to have a body added. Pay attention to what I just said. In order to become a human, this mind didn't have to subtract anything from itself. All it had to do was add something to itself, namely a human body. Once the divine mind was embodied in a human body, it met all of the standards needed to be called human. This is what Christians think happened with the person of Jesus. We believe that the eternally existing second person of the Trinity chose to come down to earth in a physical human body, but the other two minds didn't. This is why when Jesus is here on earth, he can still refer to his Father in heaven. When we say God died, we mean the second person of the Trinity, which was occupying a human body, experienced a physical death, not a spiritual death.